Hello, welcome to Go Gardening. I'm here at one of my most favorite places in all San Antonio, and it is kind of discreet, kind of hidden, but I'm going to let my good friend here, Paula, tell us exactly where we are.
Well, you are at the headquarters of the Episcopal Diocese of West Texas, and we are located at 111 Torcito.
Well, it's kind of hidden there in
Yes.
San Antonio and Alamo Heights.
We're actually, our property is 19 acres. We go from Patterson Avenue to below the dam and along the Almas Creek, and we're directly across from the Headwaters Coalition.
Okay, that's real important. We have lots of friends who watch who are part of the headquarters.
Yes, and we both have the same goals of trying to eliminate the invasives and to create as much habitat, as natural habitat as we can.
Wow.
And so we feel like with their 50 acres and our almost 20, we actually have a 70-acre nature sanctuary in the heart of San Antonio.
Tell me a little bit about what this place was originally. It
Well,
really has an interesting history.
It has a wonderful history. It's really part of early San Antonio. The house behind you was the original owner's home that was built in the late 20s. His name was G.A.C. Houth, and he lived here and raised thoroughbred horses and dogs. And evidently was quite a colorful character. People who knew him adored him.
I have heard that.
Yes, and that was his home. And the diocese has taken it over, and it is used for, it has a chapel, a kitchen, and a large meeting room that was done in 2000. And they often we have a lot of nonprofits use it for meetings, and of course the church uses it for a lot of meetings. So it's very booked a lot.
It's wonderful and peaceful. So let us take a look a little bit about the grounds.
Okay,
shall we?
great, sure, sounds good.
So Paula, another reason I love this place is it is so quiet, so restful, so many birds talking, and now it doesn't want to talk. But what's the story on this area over here?
Well, the home you're seeing now is the original owner's home, built in the late 20s. And this was his really summer home at first, and later he lived here full time.
Yeah.
And this was his backyard. Yes. And if you can imagine how this looked back in the 20s and early 30s, there was no one blocking his view, no other, very few homes.
There's very few homes, and so we're looking out over downtown.
Yes, you are.
But we can't see it. But there's vegetation
trees.
in the way. So, but this is a beautiful backyard with a huge tree.
That's
I'm thinking it's like over 250 years old. On that.
It's been dated at least that old, and it's really the focal point of this garden.
Yeah.
And one of everyone's favorite tree. We have a
So
couple.
when everybody goes, oh, did you see the big tree? Everyone knows what the big tree is.
Well, I think so. There are a couple of runners up to that.
Oh, well, we may look at those a little bit later on our way down.
You may find another favorite. You can
Okay.
have all the favorites you want.
Well, this is the area that I spend most of my time in.
It's very peaceful here and quiet, and the original intent was that when people entered this property, they would feel like they'd left their busy lives and stresses behind.
Right.
People tell me they feel that their blood pressure goes down, they relax a little bit, and so we invite people to come and experience that.
Everyone is eligible and encouraged.
Oh, encouraged. There's been life in the Almas Basin for 12,000 years. And I think you feel that nurturing from the environment when you're here with the trees and the hills. And
so we are on this little hill overlooking downtown, and then Almas Dam area, which has been
the whole Almas Basin.
So the prehistory goes way back 10,000
exactly.
years.
And the Headwaters Blue Hole would be directly that way.
Okay.
So, and all the spring, this whole area is the spring field for for the San Antonio River.
Well, let's go to look at one of my favorite shots over here.
Okay.
The stairway and the containers.
All right.
So Paula, this is one of my favorite Lower Petalum
Thank you.
in the city. So it is really beautiful.
Thank you. We think it's pretty lovely, and the color blends so well with
With
our
the
house.
the greens
and when
and
you
the
get the
purples.
yellow when that blooms.
And then this is one of my favorite stairways because it reminds me of Europe, and just that kind of a hidden little doorway right there.
Well, it is a lovely staircase, and it takes you to the bishop's apartment where we have our guests can stay.
So, okay. So that's
It's
what we
right-
call that.
That's
that
the bishop's apartment.
And so any kind of guest, but they have to make arrangements.
Oh,
for that.
yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, on that. So, Paula, this is the original house.
Yes, it
now,
is.
is this the original tile and
Yes,
wall and
it
everything?
It is. This little overhang is an extension that was added in 2000.
Oh, okay.
But this is the original home that was built in about 1920, between 26 and 30. And Mr. Hauff used it all his life. This property was frequently on a garden tour that was sponsored by Christ Episcopal Church.
Oh, okay.
Except during World War II. But it was well known and beloved, and was a huge success.
All right.
He was a master gardener.
Oh, he was?
He was.
Did he bring anything in
his-
that may be still alive today?
Well, yes, actually, they're the great grandchildren, but of a daylily that he loved. But his favorite plant was pink azaleas, and he raised the most beautiful azaleas.
Well, those are very hard.
And they're hard to do, but he did it. And at that time, of course, the springs were flowing all the time. Plenty of water.
Okay.
And he was a wonderful gardener, and this grounds were very special to him.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful.
I wish we could have met him, but
Well, okay.
we missed it.
All right. Well, let's go look at a little bit else.
All
here.
right. How about this big tree?
Well,
We should have a name for it, shouldn't we?
well, let's maybe look underneath here.
So, Mark, you're an arborist, I know. Can you tell me if there's some significance to these low-lying branches of the oak tree?
Well, in nature, live oaks do it all the time. They grow down to the ground and then bounce up. However, there is many a story that Native Americans would lay branches down on purpose, either as a direction for a path, or I've also heard locally that in a direction where there was water.
Oh, really?
So, if we look at these particular branches, guess where they're pointing to?
Well, down the hill.
Down the hill?
Where our springs flow.
Are the springs hole flow and the blue hole
And
is there.
toward the blue hole,
Oh, that's
definitely.
right.
Oh,
So,
good.
could it be?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It could very well be. Who knows?
Yeah.
If we go back 250, 350
Yeah.
years back, it may very well
Could
have
we-
been.
Well, we know there a lot of Native Americans living in this area.
Absolutely.
So it could well be.
Both prehistory and history.
Oh,
There were
yeah,
several
definitely.
bands that would camp out
It's
here.
very rich in
Yeah.
history as well as landscape, I think.
Well, this is one of my favorite trees
Well, thank you.
because it's
Thank you.
so beautifully preserved, beautifully pruned, beautifully taken care of.
Well, Mother Nature has been good to us up
Right.
here for sure.
Yeah. Very good. Let's go look at somewhere else.
All right.
So, Paula, now we have a lot of green in this area, but this area over here has a lot of color. Why does it have a lot of color?
Well, truthfully, it's one of the few sunny spots in this yard, in this garden. And this is our bird bath, and we get wonderful birds here. I often see them perched on this rock. And we also use it as a baptismal font.
No.
which is really fun.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Well,
a lot.
that's what the original structure is. I didn't know we actually do use it.
We do it. We use it, and little kids can come and run around, and the parents usually sit on this rock work, and we've had lovely family memories made here.
Now, I did notice that we are this is going to show in May, and we're kind of changing out
Right.
from the cool season to the warm season.
Exactly.
So the snapdragons are going to go. The salvia is already picking up. What else
Yes.
are we going to see here?
Well, you'll see more salvia, and also a wonderful white mist flower that the butterflies love. And
the Greg's
it's
cousin to
more
the
of a
Greg's.
shrub.
Yeah.
And then we have this blue mist.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see after we take this out what else we might put in. But it's we've had lots of butterflies this
Well,
year.
that's those
And that's
are
what
the
we wanna
butterfly
do.
plants,
And
so
bees-
that's really important.
What would you recommend for bees? The same thing?
Well, anything that has a color white,
Oh,
yellow, violet,
okay.
purple, or blue.
All right. Well, that's
So
a nice.
we got the salvias over here already for the
and
bees.
we have some pink and red coming up,
and then the
and
white,
the and the
white.
blue.
So those are the bee colors.
Okay.
Again, white, yellow, what did I say? Violet, purple, and blue.
Okay. And the butterflies, do they have a
They butterflies like kind of a roundy crown. And then of course the hummingbirds, so like
Oh, yeah.
anything that's a trumpet shape.
trumpet shape. Well, that's I might need to look at what a trumpet.
I said,
what
you
we
know
might
what?
find.
I'm always at your disposal. You can
Well,
always give me a phone call.
We'll give you a call
All
because
right.
that's our goal is to nurture the
nurture
just all the life
wildlife, and
here,
it's
so-
got lots of space for them to inhabit, but this is probably a good space for them
They're very
to get
happy
real
here.
nectar.
You're right. You're exactly right.
So Paula, where are we now?
We are in the pavilion at Cathedral Park. This accommodates about 30 people, and we invite those interested in it. Have a book study, a Bible study, something special that they'd like together, a small group together to come here. There is no charge, but you need to make a reservation with the diocesan office.
Okay.
And we especially encourage people who want to come and walk the grounds and just enjoy nature, listen to the birds.
We are on an elevated platform. We're above the ground. We can see where the old springs used to go, and when we have
exactly.
water, you can see where the water is. It's just a beautiful, very meditative
Well,
sight.
thank you. That's our hope, that it brings a sense of peace and tranquility in a busy world.
So Paula, thank you so much for allowing us to come out. We appreciate it so much.
Well, I'm delighted that you came today, and I hope we'll return many times in the future.
Thank you. And thank you for watching. So let's go out, go garden, and save some water. Thank you.
Ever wonder where all of the water we use to drink, bathe, cook, garden, and put out fires comes from? Ever wonder how our water supply is safeguarded to ensure it's there for generations to come? The answers to all your questions will be waiting for you at the Edwards Aquifer Authority Education Outreach Center. Book your free visit today at eaaeoc.org. The EOC is the place to be.
Welcome to Go Gardening. We're here in Fair Oaks Ranch with my friend Ruth here, and we're going to talk a little bit about her yard and kind of the unique characteristics of it. So the first thing is, you're not from here originally, are you?
No, I am not.
Okay, you're from the Northeast.
Yep.
And when I walk around the yard, I see some mingling, some melding of Central Texas plants and more, shall we say, different plants from different parts of the country. So this is really good. But tell me a little bit about what your theme is here as far as a color palette.
Well, when I came down from Maine, one of the cars was chock full of plants that I had thought might make it down here. Tom Harris at the time told me flat out, may he rest in peace, they're not going to live, they're going to die. And you know,
and that charming Tom the demeanor. Okay.
And well, except for the Nepeta, the iris, the what else did well? My paddle cactus that I didn't even know would be good in Maine, and my iris and my daylilies. Yeah, they've done really well. The other ones did go toes up pretty quick.
Okay.
Even though I'd researched
it got a little hot for them?
A little hot, or not as cold as they needed in the winter.
So a lot of people, maybe from California, they want to bring a lot of California plants in.
Well, there's Zone 10.
And they don't understand that it stays at 90% humidity and 90 degrees at 12 o'clock in the middle of August in summer. So yes, we have to have that change.
Yeah.
So
but
cooling at night, cooling in the evening, in the wintertime, different seasons and like that.
And coming from the Northeast, it was, I was used to forsythia followed by, azaleas and etc.
And lilacs. So yes.
Yeah. So I found
forsythia.
So I have been working to try to find things of the same palette. Like instead of forsythia, I have the primrose jasmine. Instead of hydrangeas, I have the plumbagos. And instead of the azaleas, there's the oleander in different colors.
Okay, so the colors kind of mimicking the same color pattern,
not
but
the
different
scents,
plants, and then also the time of year. The plumage.
Yeah.
So, and then we have the key concept that you mentioned earlier, 12 months of the year.
Yes.
12 months of color.
I know, you can. And when I found out that you could vegetable garden for through 2/3 of the year, I was ecstatic.
Instead of one, it's like 2 or 3 times a year.
But I had become a master gardener in Maine, and I feel like I should take that course all over again. It is so different in many ways here. So many things to identify.
Okay, well, great. Let's look at some of these plants that we've been talking about,
okay,
shall we?
Sure. Where do you want to start?
Let's start over here.
Okay.
So we're looking at this little bed in the garden. It's really nice.
Thank you.
Let's talk about these larkspur here.
Well, I love larkspur, but I also love delphinium, and delphinium does not do well down here.
No, it's not. It wilts in the heat, literally.
Yep, and this was a close replacement, close color palette to it, and I let everything go to seed because I just love to
so
spread.
It's kind of random. It's not really a formal type. You're
not
just
at all.
scattering the seed.
Yep.
Now, do you have a hard time of keeping it in this area?
No, not at all, and I don't care if it goes elsewhere. I just was experimenting and seeing it shown up in all the corners so far. But this year I'll spread it further out. And I got this Pride of Barbados that is finally taking off. I'm really excited.
This is more South Texas.
Yes, so we're doing the blend.
And then this is some of the plants you brought down.
I brought one little tiny plug of iris, and all these iris, with the exception of the ones inside, are from that plant.
Then that is a different one. That's yellow, but this is our blue iris on that. So this is really interesting. It's just one, and then you can divide it. There's a friend.
Yeah.
Well, let's go look over here and talk about maybe things that haven't been as successful as the iris.
Yes, I can tell you about some epic fails.
Oh, epic fails. Well, let's go see some epic fails.
Well, you won't see them because I've gotten rid of them all. Well, not all of them. I'm sure there's others lurking, but.
Well, Ruth, we talked a little bit about an epic fail. Tell me a little bit about this epic fail.
Well, I got a passion vine from a friend, and I thought, what a beautiful flower. Oh my goodness. And I planted it.
It's for butterflies like it. And
Everything likes
everything
it, and you could make something out of it maybe. Well, I got that armillary at Round Top one year, and I went away, and when I came back, you couldn't tell that there was a fence here. It started on that side, and it grew over.
It grew up and over and over.
It pulled down the armillary and bent it. So now it's supposed to be round, and now it's not.
And you said it's round. It's supposed to be kind of globish.
Yes.
And it's not any longer. It's no longer that.
It's not.
No.
And so I spent the whole next spring digging up the orange roots of all the passion vines I could find. I filled up an entire garbage can because they grow underground.
This was the termination with extreme prejudice.
Yes,
Okay.
I said
All right.
no more passion vines.
Okay, no more passion vine.
They're too passionate.
However, that's a great fail. However, let's look over here on some of these plants that have been really doing really well.
Oh,
we got some of the iris.
And the daylilies.
And the daylilies here. And then
The ornamental onions, that came from here, but the cardoon is doing well. And this, you can't see it very well. It's the Rose of Sharon. I brought that.
Oh, really?
I dug
Okay.
that up in my other house and brought it out.
That is, frequently not its used as frequently as it maybe should be. On that
And
one.
all this is, I'm letting my cilantro go to seed. I love cilantro, and so I just let it go to seed. I spread it everywhere, and we eat cilantro all winter long.
You know what cilantro seed is called, right?
Coriander.
It is called coriander.
Yes.
Okay, you get an A for that one.
Oh, thank you.
All right,
Thank
okay. Now let's look at one plant which was totally amazed when you told me you got it in Maine.
I think it was very prescient. I had no idea we
Yeah.
were moving to Texas, and I bought this at a garden center, and I said, oh, how cute. It looks like it has Mickey Mouse ears.
Yes, it does. And then, so the new pads are coming, and then the tunas will be coming up a little bit later, the fruiting structures and the flowers very soon. But you got it in Maine.
I got it in Maine.
and
It lasted
you
through a
came
snowy
down here in
winter.
Texas, and it's growing all over. We have it all over the landscape.
And I give it away, and
Oh, it's amazing. Okay.
and it's spineless.
It's spineless. Well, yeah, okay, we'll do it for the sake of video. It's spineless. All right. Oh, that's good. Let's go look at some other stuff.
Okay.
All right. So Ruth, we have this wonderful forest pansy, but you asked me, but it's green over here.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit about forest pansy. It is a selection that is grafted onto a redbud rootstock, a normal redbud rootstock.
Okay.
So we got one of the little sprouts on the bottom here coming off the original rootstock. And so this is the shoot that's coming up. So I can see you pull it here.
Yeah.
And notice what the shoot is. It's all green. So it is the original rootstock. So if you want to maintain the forest pansy, and the characteristic of forest pansy is that it has this lovely purple color on it that gradually diminishes as time goes along during the growing season. If you want to keep that like that, yes, we're going to cut that right down to the. Don't worry. We can do it. We can do it. No problem. We can do it a little bit later. And then the tree will be entirely healthy. However, let us look
Yeah. Oof.
at this tree over here. So this is a pear. It could have been a Bradford pear, which is a selection of calorie pear, or it could be some other calorie pear, or it could be an old-fashioned pear that was used by the pioneers for a really hard pear on that. Unfortunately, this is now gone away. This is deceased. Yes, it may have some green leaves on it, and it's very hard to tell to Texans. It may be green, but it's already dead. It just doesn't know it yet.
Oh.
So so you can cut it down. But you had some ideas about what you may want to do.
Well, I thought it would be nice, because it is a garden here, I would cut it right after the branches and maybe set a birdhouse on
like
top
like
of
a
it.
little post there,
Yeah.
so it's 4 inches.
Yeah.
So you just cut right there, and we put the birdhouse.
Yeah.
I had another client. We cut down her live oak, and she just said, no problem. I'll just put a pot on top.
Oh.
A pot on the stump. So lots of things you can do, but unfortunately,
It's gone. It's another epic fail. Okay.
no, it's not an epic fail. It's just a fail.
Okay.
So don't worry too much about it.
Okay.
And then we have one more tree to look at over here.
All right.
Ruth, this is one of my favorite trees. This is an Arizona ash. It is adaptable to a lot of different areas. It's going to maintain kind of a Christmas tree shape to it. However, it's kind of bending a little
Yeah.
bit here.
Yeah.
Are you treating it nasty or are you treating it well?
Oh, I think I'm treating it well.
Oh no, you want to treat it nasty.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So how often do you water it and like that?
When I get out here with the hose, I water it. When it's looking thirsty, when everything else is looking pretty crusty, I
Okay.
water it.
All right. It doesn't need a lot of water. In other words.
doesn't?
It does not.
No, it doesn't.
So in mountainous West Texas is where it's native to. So it may be just feeling like it's growing up and not putting any kind of what is called reaction wood. Now you have a little
help, little support.
little help.
Yeah.
And I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to pull it back a little bit more
Without pulling down the fence.
without
Yeah.
pulling down the fence.
Okay.
And we're going to try to maybe lower it a little bit
Oh,
more
okay.
on that. So that's going to go a little bit lower so that it's pulling on the tension of the lower part of the tree and allowing the top part to grow freely.
Okay, because
So
this
on
looks like
that.
a
So-
pine to me. It's almost like a little.
Yeah, and so Arizona
pine,
cypress is not true cypress, but a lot of people will put the guys up high, and what you really should
To
do
low.
is get
Okay.
the stakes and the guys lower.
Oh.
And so all you're trying to do is keep the ball and the small part of the trunk stable.
Okay.
So we'll probably do that. It's probably going to look to grow very fast. Where did you get this tree?
I got that from one of the educational sessions at GVST.
GVST. We
Yeah.
provide trees as well.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I was so happy the day I brought this home. I was very excited.
So it's about what, 4 or 5 years ago?
About 5, yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's going to get bigger. It's going to get about 35 feet.
That's great because that'll
So
be another
it'll
shield.
block off everything off that way. So, and it is evergreen. And it's a lovely color, evergreen.
I love the
it.
silver.
I love it. So Arizona cypress, everyone should be planting these.
Yeah.
All right. We got one more tree to look at. Another one of my favorite trees.
Yes, and is this one here,
Yeah.
the almond?
Yeah,
I got that from GVST too.
Well, Ruth, another favorite plant. Tell me about this one.
Oh, I bought this off Melanie McMahon at one of our GVST classes.
GVST
Yeah,
again.
again, several years ago, and she said it was going to get big, and that it makes a wonderful backdrop. But I love the scent so much that I put it front and center so that we can
It's
smell
a
it when we're
really,
eating.
really intense, fresh scent.
Yeah, I love the smell of almond.
So it's called almond verbena. It's not an almond. It is a verbena in the verbena family. So it's great.
Yeah,
So,
we love it.
is it evergreen?
No, not particularly, but it greens up pretty quick or
okay.
early, and it'll stay that way. And it seems like every fall of showers, every shower we have, it causes it to bloom yet again.
So how tall does it get?
Oh, I've never let it get much taller than that,
Okay.
but it would. It wants to. It wants to
It
be
wants
a big.
to get taller.
Yeah,
Okay. So, but you keep it
I do.
pruned down. Okay.
I do.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.
You're welcome. Just like that Silverado sage keeps wanting to get
Oh,
bigger.
yeah, that's right. So, Ruth, thank you so much for allowing us to be in your backyard and looking at some of your wonderful plants, kind of the melding of Central Texas and the Northeast. So we really do appreciate that.
Well, thank you for coming, and thank you for letting me talk about my epic fails. I just have one question.
Yes.
Am I going to be used as a good example or a horrible warning?
Oh my, no, you're not an epic fail. However, speaking of epic fails, you may have noticed that I called the Arizona cypress an Arizona ash.
Oh.
You should have just hit me right then and
Well,
there.
I heard you say it, but then I thought I was wrong.
Oh, no, you'd never be wrong. No, it was my epic fail. So we've had an epic fail by you, an epic fail by me.
Okay.
All right. So thank you again. We do appreciate coming out.
Oh, thanks. Thanks
All
for
right.
coming.
And thanks for watching. So let's go out there and go gardening and save some water.
So, how does enjoying the many beautiful parks and natural areas located in the Trinity Glen Rose Groundwater Conservation District help protect the clean water stored in the Trinity Aquifer? You can learn more at trinityglenrose.com/pollution prevention.
Litter goes with the flow. Join the San Antonio River Authority in protecting area creeks and the river. Don't let litter trash your river. Let's all be river proud.